What inspires you? Like, so obviously you have such a wide range of different things. What is a thing that usually inspires you to create? Is it like seeing something, or is it a design that you come up with in your own mind? What is your inspiration usually?
Um, it's usually, I usually have a whole different range of things that stimulate me, but a lot of it is just, I want to make something. What am I going to make? All right, what's around me? What's inspiring around you? Oh, here's a cat. Which, if you look on my stuff, I tend to have a lot of cat stuff.
Yeah, I did see that. I saw Patches, and I wanted to ask you who Patches was.
Patches is my coworker's son's cat. And that was actually one of my commission pieces.
That's right. You do something. Now I know for sure you do pet portraits because I've seen a bunch of your different pet portraits, and you do human portraits as well.
Yes. But I also do other things. Back in early October, I did a coloring page for Chilito's restaurant.
Nice.
That was kind of a mandala style, but it had Halloween theme.
Oh, that is such a cool idea.
Heavy on the skulls, the Dia de los Muertos skulls.
Yes.
There were a lot of those in the pattern, so that it had that Mexican tie-in, and it would be still fun to color. And I've done another one for them for Christmas, which should be coming out within the next week or two.
Oh, wow. I have to check that out. That is so cool. I love Day of the Dead or Sugar Skull art. I love the whole idea of those. I can imagine that would be really fun to color in for sure. I wanted to ask you another question. I see this other design that you made of an owl, and I'm so entranced by this design. I think it's absolutely stunning. I love its eyes, and it is the wisdom of the, I don't know if I'm reading this right, the wisdom of the stars. And it's
yes.
like a beautiful owl. The eyes are really like dragging me in. These eyes look so like dimensional and glassy and beautiful.
Yeah. That's, eyes in general tend to be one of my strong points. It's one of those things where, since I was a teenager, if I'm sitting in front of a piece of paper and I'm not doing something else, I'm likely to draw faces, and especially eyes.
Wow.
Sometimes I'll do just the eyes. So lots of practice turns into being, I think, pretty darn good at eyes.
Yeah, your eyes are definitely really good. All your pieces have really bewitching, beautiful eyes, but this owl is really just, it's staring at me. But and it's very enchanting, like mystical, enchanting, beautiful. I think that could definitely be a theme for you. Even taking something mundane like, waiting in line at McDonald's and making that art piece that looks very mystical itself, even though it's just the sky, the way you created the composition, it's extremely mystical and beautiful. So I think that is definitely a running theme for you. But you have a lot of different. I mean, you have such a range, girl. You have so much of a range. So I wanted to ask you a question. Do you have any tips for young artists, or I say young artists, but new artists or people who are looking to get into art, or maybe who want to get better but they're struggling a little bit? What are some tips that you can give them?
Don't take it too seriously.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because if you take it too seriously, then you get all caught up in, oh, it's not perfect, it's not perfect, it's not perfect. I am such a trash artist. No, you're not a trash artist. You are practicing. And guess what? I'm going into being a pro artist. I'm still practicing.
Yeah.
Van Gogh and Picasso, they were still in practicing until the day they died.
I think that's
Everybody
really good
is still practicing.
I think that's a really good advice. I think that it is easy to be hard on yourself when you feel like you just can't create, like you may see it in your mind but you just can't get it on the page, and or you may have trouble with certain areas. I think it can be challenging, but yeah, I think not taking it too seriously and just keep trying. And I think that that's really good advice for people, anybody out there who's wanting to improve their art skills. And I think that also another thing that people can learn from you is you do not have to adhere to one type of art. You can really have several different types of art that you're good at. You don't have to stick to one style. I think that people feel like they have to kind of stick to one style, or they get used to only doing one style, and you're definitely an example that people should broaden their horizons and try new things and really be, have experimental fun.
Honey, if I had to stick to just one style, I would get so freaking bored.
I can imagine.
That is one of the reasons that I create, is so that I don't get bored.
Definitely. I can see that for sure. And I think that you just have a very creative mind for sure. I wanted to ask you another question. How do you handle, or do you ever get like artist block, or if you do have artist block, how do you handle that? What is a good cure that you have for when you feel blocked, or when you feel like, you're just not feeling those creative juices flowing as much as you'd want them to?
Basically, don't feel like you have to make something. Pick up a piece of paper, pick up a pen or a pencil or a marker or whatever, and just start scribbling. Doodle something, and then just keep doodling until you run out of paper, in which case there's more paper, or until you feel like, okay, yeah, I'm settled enough that I can try and do something more serious.
I think that that is a really good piece of advice. Get the anxiety out, and to be able to just kind of get your mind relaxed enough and your hand moving. I think you're right. I think that's really good advice. Um, I heard
Yeah,
somewhere that there's something that turns on in your brain when you hold a pen or a pencil. There's something that's activated that turns on in your brain. It's like a stimulant, and it really kind of can get you going. And you may not have that same stimulation if you're just not doing it, if you're not taking that pen and picking it up and trying. So I think that that's really, really good advice for sure. Um,
yeah. And here's another thing. There's more than one way to be creative.
ah,
Maybe you don't, maybe you try and draw and you try and draw and you try and draw and you just can't seem to get into it. Maybe what you need to do is put down the pen, go pick up a paintbrush, or pick up some clay and do a sculpture. That's one of the things that helps keep me from getting an artist block or a writer's block. Either one, I'll just do some other form of creativity and break the block by coming at it kind of from the side,
That is really good advice. Really good advice. And yeah, I mean you're an artist, you're good at illustration and drawing, you're good at painting. I created my first painting with you that I've ever done in my life. And it was such a good time. It was so much fun. Sharon teaches a painting class at the local library. Now
Yep.
you're not teaching it anymore, right? Because of COVID, or
Ah, we did put it on hold because of COVID.
Yeah.
However, December 4th, it's back.
Really? Oh, okay, that's great.
Really. It will be in the paper this week. But, yeah, I haven't decided what I'm going to have us painting yet, but it will be Christmas themed or winter themed, one or the other.
That sounds like fun. Yeah, it was such a great experience, and I think that for me, I was always intimidated by the idea of painting. I'm an illustrator. I draw, but I think that you made it so easy. And what are some tips that you might have for anybody who wants to think about painting?
Okay. First off is, if you screw up, it doesn't matter. You just paint over it. I literally use that piece of advice in my classes because the classes are meant to be fun. Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to teach the next Picasso. I'm not even trying to teach the next me, which is a good thing because I'm not all that great at painting, except within certain limits. But art is there to enjoy. It's there to have fun with. If you aren't having fun, why are you bothering? Find something fun to do.
It's really, really profound and really interesting, and you're right. I do remember that when I took your paint class, it was very fun. It was a really nice environment. Everybody was having a good time. Everybody was, just enjoying the moment, and you made it so easy and so fun. I continued to paint. I continued to paint, going forward. So you gave me the confidence to feel like I could do it on my own and have fun, and that I didn't have to take it too seriously. And I think that that's such a good thing, for art in general, whether you're drawing, painting, sculpting, you don't have to take it seriously. I think that that's a really good piece of advice that you gave us all.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is, creativity is supposed to be a way to express yourself. If you aren't having fun creating it, why are you doing it? That doesn't mean give up when it gets tough. It means stop, think, calm down, and come at it from a different angle.
I think that that's a really
because there are times when it will be tough, but at the same time, if you adjust the way you approach it, 99% of the time, you can figure out some way around whatever's blocking you.
I think that that's a really, really good way to look at it. I think that that's smart, for sure. I think that that does make it a lot more approachable and a lot less intimidating. So I want to ask you a question. As an artist, and everybody who knows you knows that you're an artist, this is just a fun question I thought that we would end with is, what are some annoying questions people ask you about art or about being an artist? Things that are maybe are like pet peeves or things that are annoying. I know that some artists get very annoying questions, so I was just curious if you had any that you would share with us.
Well, here's the thing. In addition to being an artist, I am also a librarian. Answering questions is what I do.
So you have a lot of patience.
I try. Don't always succeed, but I try to have patience. And really, part of being a good reference librarian, which is what I specialized in when I was going through library school, is being able to, you learn to see things as not being stupid questions, just ignorant questions. And if something is ignorant rather than stupid, well, ignorance can be solved with information.
I think that that's a
So,
really good attitude. I have to say that's a really good attitude to have, and I admire your patience and your. I admire your patience. I don't know that every artist has as much patience, but you're right. You're in the business of
oh, I
teaching, and
guarantee that. But different people are different people. It happens that one of my strong points is being able to see things from different perspectives.
yeah, and I think that's part of what makes you such a good artist and so able to create such amazing artwork.
Yeah, I mean, when I do art, I'm trying to have fun and to share that fun with other people.
I definitely think you succeed at both. So I want to let everybody know that I'm going to have all of Sharon's information available in the bottom bar. So the bottom section, info section, I will have all of her information available for you guys, all of her links, so you guys can go check out her shop and her art and perhaps purchase some different things for the holidays coming up. And also her YouTube channel that she has going on, so you guys can go subscribe to her, check her out. I'm so grateful that I had a chance to sit down and talk about your art and brag about what a great artist you are and get to know you more.
Well, I'm glad that you asked me. I mean, it's something that I love to share my art with people, not just actually the finished works, but the process and talking about it. It's all fun.
Yeah, it's true. It all comes together, so you're 100% right about that. Well, thank you so much. Uh, Everybody, do me a favor and give this video a like, share it with your friends, and go check out all of Sharon's awesome links. And thanks for hanging out, and I will see you in the next video.